Tanking has been an issue for the NBA in recent days. It's kind of slowly gone from simmer to boil. It's a bigger issue for the NBA than it is for the NFL because there's so many games. There's plenty of bad teams. There's a history of tanking. The whole draft lottery thing, it normalizes talk of tanking. It normalizes tanking. We've had folks like Mark Cuban say the NBA should embrace it. Matt Ishbia, the current owner of the Suns, he came out very aggressively against tanking on Thursday. And also on Thursday, the reporting came from ESPN.com that Commissioner Adam Silver met with the league's 30 general managers and reviewed some ways that they may change the draft lottery to counter tanking. We have the item at PFT. As I looked at each of the possible changes, none of them eliminate the incentive to tank. They may dilute the incentive. It may change the analysis. It just complicates the question, but still at the core, bad teams are more likely to get dibs on the best players. And the commissioner said it himself last Saturday. The problem is the incentives aren't aligned. You have an incentive to win, and you have an incentive to lose. If we lose enough, we get this guy who can help us win. These changes just muddy the waters. They dilute the situation. They still don't eliminate the strategic decision driven by analytics, economics, whatever it may be. There's going to be a point in the season where it's not in our best interest to win. They're talking about freezing the lottery odds in place, maybe at the trade deadline. Okay, well then, hey, we tank up until then. We get our odds locked in, and now we'll go try to win. I mean, that would be better than the current system, but you're still going to have tanking leading up to the trade deadline or whenever the deadline is to lock in the lottery odds. Everything that they do to address tanking is going to have a counter that becomes part of the overall strategy that teams will employ. As long as there is any incentive at any point in the season or over 2 seasons, that's one possible fix. The standings over the last 2 seasons determine where you are in the lottery process and how many balls you get. The only way to fix this, there's 2 ways to fix this. 2 ways to eliminate tanking from the equation altogether. Number one, and I appreciate all the people who have been sending in their ideas for how to minimize tanking. There's only 2 ways to eliminate it. One, it's a straight lottery with all teams having the same chance, top to bottom in the draft. Purely random, completely disconnected to performance. That removes the incentive to tank. At that point, the incentives don't have to align. There's only one incentive, win. There's no reason to not win. That's the easiest and that's the most equitable approach. Because really, why do we reward shitty teams? The NFL does it too, and for the NFL, it has never gotten past periodic simmer, like 1.5 on your stove dial. It's never been a big deal, although it's happened. The NFL's done a great job of not giving oxygen to a tanking discussion. The NFL's managed to keep separate. Being bad in the regular season, every team's trying to win every game. Being at the top of the stack when it's time to get ready for the draft. Hey, look at that. Raiders have the first overall pick. There's a wall that the NFL has managed to maintain. The NBA hasn't. Why do we? I think that's really the philosophical question that needs to be asked. Why do we reward the worst teams? Why? There's no incentive to get better if you know that if you hang around at the bottom long enough, Michael Jordan's going to fall into your lap. Although he wasn't the first pick when he was drafted. Still. Why not, if we're not going to do it randomly, why not make it one of the spoils of victory? Best team gets dibs. Worst team gets last pick. That would align the incentives. That would fully align the incentives. Not only do we have an incentive to win this game, we have an incentive to win as many games as we can to improve our draft standing. And, oh, that's unfair. You'll have a powerhouse team that wins the championship every year. Yeah. You either want to eradicate tanking or you don't. You either want to remove the threat to the integrity of the game and the integrity of the wagering on the game or you don't. You either want to remove all incentives for teams to embrace losing culture or you don't. These little half measures, these little partial fixes, they're not going to align the incentive. You either remove the incentive entirely with a truly random lottery, or you create the ultimate alignment of incentives. The champion gets the first pick in the draft. People would lose their minds. Or just get rid of the draft. If we're gonna cause people to lose their minds, let's really make them lose their minds. Get rid of the draft and have a pool that's available for incoming rookies based upon how you did in the prior year. Now, tanking would still be on the table because the worse you are, the more money you have to go out and try to lure free agents. That's one way to do it. If there's no draft, you're not going to have a super team. Fernando Mendoza is not going to sign with the Chiefs. He's going to sign with a team he can play for. Not that the Chiefs made the playoffs last year, but you get my point. The rich don't necessarily get richer. It's not going to be like in the pre-'80s days of college football where not many teams got exposure and teams like Oklahoma could go 6 deep with tailbacks who would be stars at any other program. You're not going to have that. Guys are going to go where they're going to be able to play. They're going to get to pick where they want to go. So 3 solutions, really. 1, totally random process. 2, the champion gets the first pick and all the way down the line. 3, get rid of the draft. It's never going to happen. Doesn't keep me from saying it. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.